Hi guys. So today is Tuesday. It's 5:44 a.m. Germany time. So guys, we are welcome back to the chat again. So this week I'm watching three pairs: Euro USD, USD JPY, and then gold. Now my first setup is on Euro USD. The question is, how am I going to trade Euro USD this week? Let's try to find out. Now we are starting from the daily time frame. Now, this is the current movement of price in daily time frame, giving explanation to what is happening in the weekly time frame. Now, how is daily explaining weekly? Now, daily is explaining weekly in the form of what? Uptrend. Let's try to find the uptrend. Now, when price is in an uptrend, for example, every turning point must form above each other or on the same level. Let's try to see if every turning point is above each other or on the same level. Now, starting from this support, this is the first support within this uptrend. It doesn't mean that is the first support, but based on how we are approaching the market, this is our first support within the trend. Now, do we have another support again? Yes, we do have. This is the next support within the uptrend. That daily is what using to explain weekly. Now, do we have another support again? Yes, is the last support within the trend. Now, after knowing all the support, what is the next? The next is to find out the resistance that caused the support. Now, this first support here, where is the resistance? There is the resistance. Now, it tells me that there was this support to form this resistance and then price pullback to fulfill the criteria. As I said, that every turning point must form above each other on the same level. Now, the next support, which confirmed the trend, was formed above the previous support. Now, when it formed, it was able to break this resistance to form the next resistance, which is what? Above the previous resistance. Now, that resistance is where? Is this resistance. Now, this resistance here was formed because of what? This support. Now, when this resistance formed, price now then use what? Double top to now then push price back as a pullback now to form a new support. So this new support is on its way to confirm the trend by breaking this resistance. The question is, can price break this resistance using this support? Let's try to find out in the lower time frame. But before we move on to lower time frame, now let's try to understand the daily itself. Now, every support and resistance, or in between support and resistance, someone can also say that every swing point there is price movement. Now, the first swing point here, this support here and this resistance. How was price movement? Uptrend for price used to break the support to form this resistance. Now, between this resistance and this support, how did price move in daily time frame? Price move in the form of what? Downtrend. Now, between this support and then this resistance, price move in the form of what? Down uptrend to break this resistance to form this what? The new resistance for price to form this what? Double top to what? Push price back impulsively. Now, price is on its way, and that's the current move. How is price moving between this daily and support and daily resistance? Price is now heading towards back to this resistance in the form of uptrend. Now, that is the current daily movement of price. So let's try to find out the current daily movement by zooming out this area. Now, zooming out this area, we have here as our daily support, and then we have here as what? As our daily resistance, as we said. Now, daily is approaching this resistance in the form of what? Uptrend. Let's try to understand the daily uptrend. We have here as what? As a daily support, forming what? Morning star confirmation to push price back. So this morning star confirmation formed the first inner daily resistance. There was the next inner daily support. Price using this support on its way, it has seen sell pressure here. The question is, will this sell pressure drop price back here or back here for the uptrend to continue? That is what we are finding out. Now, when price first pulled back here, there was a bearish engulfing, daily bearish engulfing. The next candlestick was a bullish candlestick. The next candlestick was a bearish candlestick, and currently we are in a bearish candlestick. Now, what is happening here? is noisy in daily. So let's try to break the noise down in 4 hour time frame. Now let's move on to 4 hour time frame. Now here we are in the 4 hour time frame. How is 4 hour giving explanation to daily? Now, before we focus on this noisy data in daily as seen in 4 hour, let's try to find out the previous trend. Now, the previous trend in 4 hour was what? Was in a downtrend. Now, how is that downtrend? Now, downtrend starting from this resistance. We have here as the resistance, we have here as a support. Price pullback to form this the new resistance, which is below the previous resistance. Price confirmed the trend by forming what? A new support, which is also below the previous support. There was this double bottom here, which initiated the pullback as an uptrend. Now, when price formed this double bottom here, price moved impulsively. By breaking this resistance, there was a pullback here. Price confirmed the trend as an uptrend by also breaking the next resistance, which is this resistance here. Price pulled back to form what? The next support, which is also above a previous support. Price confirmed the trend by breaking this resistance to form a new resistance, which is what? Higher than the previous resistance. Price also what? Pull back to form the new support, which is what? Above the previous support. So in 4 hour time frame, price was on its way to confirm the uptrend. When price pulled back to the previous resistance, price has failed to what? To break it by forming what? Bearish engulfing in a combination of a previous what? Resistance as double top. Now the question is, can this double top reverse price back to this support or back to this daily support? That is what we are going to find out. So those that they trade using trend line, they can also say that daily triple touch strategy. Why? There's a daily turning point as resistance. There's a daily resistance. And then when price pull back here, we are seeing that daily is facing difficulty to what? To break it. So in daily time frame, we have first touch, we have second touch, and then we have third touch. Now seen in 4 hour as what? Let's try to find out. Now the first time there was what? There was a double top here in 4 hour, which what initiated this pullback. Price pullback to that level, respecting what? Trend line, forming head and shoulder here to also drop price. Price has pulled back to that area again, forming triple touch in 4 hour, also daily. Now in 4 hour time frame, currently we have seen what? Double top with what? With a bearish engulfing. The question is, will this double top, as we know as a reversal pattern, can it reverse price back to this daily support or anywhere before daily will move on its what? Actual movement as uptrend? That is what we are going to find out. So I'm interested in selling Euro USD. How am I going to sell? Now, let's see if price will respect this trend line. Now, if price will respect this trend line, that's how I'm waiting for price to behave. Now, if I will sell, I'm waiting patiently for price to respect this resistance as resistance. Why? Because we are in an uptrend. Price has managed to break above it. When price break above it with this resistance, there was a break below this resistance. Now, when price break above it again, price has break it below. Now, all this movement here is what? Price is using this movement to break this resistance. Why? Because within this 4 hour uptrend, giving explanation to daily, this support form this resistance. So price needs to pull back, and price has done so by pulling back to the support. So price needs to break this resistance to confirm the trend. Price has done so by breaking it. When price broke it, there was a break below. Price broke it again, and now price has what? Break it. Price has what? Now break below again. So if price will confirm the trend, we are expecting price to what? Break this resistance. Now when price pull back to this resistance and fail to break it in 4 hour, we are also seeing what? Triple touch strategy. So when price pull back to this resistance and fail to break it, that is when I will come in with my confirmation and sell price back to this support. So when price pull back to this resistance and fail to break it, that is when I will come in with my confirmation and sell price back to this support. Now, another way that price can also present itself. So this is how I'm going to pull back here, fail to break it. I will come with my confirmation, sell back to this support. Now, when price presents When price presents itself like that, my first take profit will be here, and then my last take profit will be the last support here. So this will be my first TP, and then my last TP will be here. Now another way that price can also present itself for me to sell is this. Now, if price doesn't pull back to this resistance, but rather continue to see sell pressure to break this support, and pull back, and also fail to break above it, I'll wait for my confirmation here. That one, I will sell price back to this daily support. And when price presents itself as such, here will be my last take profit, and my first take profit will be here. So this is how I'm waiting patiently to sell price if price will behave the way I want price to behave. So if price doesn't present itself with these two setup, then I'll wait, I'll lay back and then see how price wants to move again. With this, I'm done with Euro USD setup for the week. Peace out.